in these particular problems, our equations, they're just going to have a single number on the same side as the variable that they're either adding or subtracting. So keep in mind that the opposite of addition is subtraction, and the opposite of subtraction is addition. So you want to ask yourself, what is preventing the variable from being by itself? In this first example, looking on the side of the equal sign with the number or with the letter X, notice there's a -4 on the same side. And so what we want to do is get rid of that -4, and the X will be by itself. So to get rid of the -4, we're going to add 4. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I'm going to do to the other side. By adding 4, it got rid of this -4, so the only thing that is left on the right-hand side is X. And then on the left-hand side, 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So X is equal to 9. In this one, again, I ask myself, what is on the same side as the variable? So W, next to the W is the +7. So I want to get rid of this add 7, and to do that, I'll subtract 7. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I do to the other. And so since this 7 got rid of this 7, on the left, I have a W left over. And then 8 minus 7 is equal to 1. Okay, here we've got a decimal, but it's not any different. We're looking at the side that has the variable, which is U. So what's preventing the U from being by itself is the subtract 2.1. So the opposite of subtracting 2.1 is going to be to add 2.1. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I do to the other. On the left side of the equal sign, I have U, and I need to take 9.9 plus 2.1. Now feel free to grab your calculator and do that, but remember, when you add decimals, you need to line up the decimals, and you start on the right-hand side. 9 plus 1 is 10, so I'm gonna have a 0 here, and then I'm gonna carry the 1, and then 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 1 more is 12. So I end up here with 12, with 12, bring the decimal straight down, 0. 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. 2 plus 9 plus 1 is 12. But 12.0 is the same thing as just 12. All right, here, looking at the variable side, and on the same side as Y is this 2.5. So to get rid of adding 2.5, I'm going to subtract 2.5. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I'm going to do to the other. My decimals are lined up, and so when I start to subtract, 2 minus 0 is 0. 5 from 4, I can't take 5 from 4, so I would need to borrow. And then that becomes 14. So 14 minus 5 is 9. 3 minus 2 is 1, and bring the decimal straight down, and I end up with 1.90, or just 1.9. Okay, so I have 1.9. Oh, my bad. Shoot. Sorry. Let's do that again. Sorry. 2 minus 0 on a good day is 2. I cannot take 5 from 4, so I'm going to borrow. And 14 minus 5 is 9. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. Bring the decimal straight down. And so I end up with 1.92. Okay, so Y is by itself. Y equals 1.92. Most of you guys are gonna pick up your calculator and do 4.42 minus 2.5. Okay, here, looking at the side that has V, what's keeping the V from being by itself is this positive 6, and it's off to the side, but we're adding positive 6. So to get rid of adding 6, I'm going to subtract 6. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So the V is by itself. I'm going to bring down the equal sign, and negative 2 minus 6. If you owe $2 and you owe $6, then you owe 8. It's negative 8. Okay, the last one of this kind, on the same side as the variable m, is this negative 9. We're adding negative 9. So that's the same thing as subtracting 9. So to get rid of the minus 9, I'm going to add 9. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So the m is now by itself on the left, and 6 plus 9 is 15. Keep in mind, in each one of these, if you wanted to double check, you could see, is it a solution? If I put 9 back up here for x, 9 minus 4 does equal 5, so I know that I have the correct answer. Or in this one, I could put the 1 back in for w, and 1 plus 7 is 8. Or in this one, I could take the 12 and put it here. 12 minus 2.1 does equal 9.1. Or put the 1.92 here. 1.92 plus 2.5 does equal 4.42. And put the negative 8 here. 6 plus a negative 8 is the same as 6 minus 8, which is negative 2. And put the 15 here, and negative 9 plus 15 does equal 6. So if you want to double check that you're correct, make that substitution back into the original.